All right, let's go out to, down the street, Nashville. Oh, this is Carly. I've been wanting to talk to Carly. Carly,
Yes.
I've been wanting to talk to you. We were scheduled to talk right before the snowpocalypse out here. And we need to figure this out, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I know. It kind of snowed us in, didn't it?
Okay, so listen. I get like a couple of lines of a call. That's it. I don't get like I don't ever hear the message, or I don't ever get like the full thing people write in. But the couple of lines I got in anticipation of our call was amazing. And then I wasn't able to talk to you. And so now you went through with it, and I can't wait to hear where everything is. All right, so bring us all up to speed.
So broke up with a long-time boyfriend after 10 years and immediately found someone, met online. We had this connection that was just amazing. For me, being a Christian,
it was an AOL dial-up connection. That's what it was. But go ahead. All right. It was an amazing AT&T streaming connection. All right. So you connected and then...
And then we decided that we're older adults, that we just wanted to get married and just move forward. Both of us being Christians, we felt that connection through the Holy Spirit, and we just knew that we were meant to be together.
Oh, no. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead. And then?
So family, friends, all freaked out.
No, really?
Yeah. My friends had an intervention. Yeah. And
good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, and I know it came from a place of love. My aunt, when we told her at Thanksgiving, was absolutely no, and I had to have a strong conversation with her as well. And because she acts as my mom figure. My mom passed away about 18 years ago, so my aunt is my mom figure. And so, it's just been kind of strained, those relationships since. But far as the gentleman that I met, we did get married. I know we were supposed to talk actually right before the wedding, but because of the snow apocalypse, we didn't. So we did get married, and things are still just a little bit weird with the friends and family, but things are off to a great start.
What's his middle name?
Wayne.
Where was he born?
Same small town as me.
Oh, gross! This is like Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, we grew up probably 4 miles apart from each other as children and didn't know.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Don't you ever watch Netflix? Like, don't you watch these murder mystery things? This is how they all start.
I know, but I did his background check the second day. I went ahead, I background checked him.
No, you're the one that's going to murder him. You background checked him on day 2?
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, being a mental health professional, like I'm in a similar field. Okay. And so, I've already done his social, like it just even with talking with him, seeing, just for his past relationships, how that's formed his personality, his genealogram. I've already kind of connected it.
I know, but you also know, if you went to grad school, you know about confirmation bias. You also know that you're not supposed to do diagnostic testing and psychometric mapping of your loved ones because it makes you that person.
Yeah, I know. But I was trying to make sure that I was off to a good start.
No, you weren't. You were trying to make sure you had reason to justify this new powerful feeling after just... What happened in your 10-year relationship?
We were off and on for several years. He would never commit because he wanted an open relationship, and he basically wanted to go out and sleep with people outside of our relationship. And that was never okay.
I'm just kidding. That seems to be the cool thing these days, which, geez Louise.
I know.
So that's a whole other call. Maybe we should take that call one day. All right, so have you had a moment it's very real and honest and true? On the 10-year relationship, have you sat in that heartbreak yet?
Yes.
And you probably were sitting in it for a year or two before you actually called it on the relationship. Fair?
Yeah, I was.
Or it was dead a long time ago.
Right.
Okay. Do you understand intellectually why your friends and family rushed to protect you from yourself?
I do.
Okay. All right. Like them doing, them I'm proud that you have those type of relationships because they rushed to stop you from doing something that, statistically speaking, has a very low probability of ending in anything other than heartbreak and hurt, right?
Right.
So, I think I don't know. I think your friends are honorable, is what I would say. Now,
Yeah.
does that make it any easier? Like you know this in relationship counseling. Like you always tell people, don't say something negative about that other person because they might stay together and they're never going to be able to forget what you said about their person, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so here we are. You're married.
Yeah.
Is it
We
blissful
went
and
to
wonderful?
Vegas. Oh yeah, it was awesome. We went to Vegas and did it. It was just him and I, and which was awesome. Didn't have to worry about anything, And so yes, it was wonderful.
Have you reconnected with your friends and your family?
Yes. Family is a little bit still, it just feels a little forced, but I'm still I'm trying to close my anxiety loop with it. And then, with my friends, it's still, like I said, a little bit weird, but we're continuing to get together and everything. I do need to probably just talk with them a little bit, coming up soon, just to make sure that our friendship is still good,
I think it would be really special for you to sit down with them and say, "Hey, I want to thank y'all for loving and caring about me so much that you were willing to risk our friendship to protect me. Thank you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I did was crazy, and I still think it's right. And this is where we are, because you're smart enough to look at the data, right? And you're smart enough to, like,
Yeah.
if one of your clients came in and was like, "Hey, I just got out of this 10-year relationship, and I found the one on the internet, and I'm pretty sure Jesus set this up," you would be like, "Whoa, okay," right? That would be all of our impulse. And yet here you are. So I don't know. I think that would be a good bridge back to your friends, because here's what I don't want you to do. Often couples who are together under against the advice of the people in their world,
Uh-huh.
you build this really tight, connected bond over they don't understand, and it's an awesome way to form an initial identity. And you end up on an island, and eventually you go in the bathroom after he just destroys it. And you realize, oh, he's just a dude like everybody else.
Yeah.
Or then he's like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you I was engaged once and or twice. A third time she said no." And you start finding these things out, which, by the way, I've been married to the same person for 21 and a half years. And we dated for 5 years before that. I still find things out. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, the dog. We had another dog that was orange." She's like, "What?" Like, so keep your hands open. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
But I want you guys to make an effort to reach back out to those who have walked with you through chaos and chose to love you enough to say, "Don't do this, don't do this." And you went and did it anyway. And the line I always give my friends is, "I'll tell you if I think that's stupid because you've invited me to that. And then when you do it, I'll sit with you in whatever happens next." Right? So that's kind of where everybody is.
Right.
So how can I help? I just started talking. I was so excited to talk to you because the note I got said, like, long-term relationship, just met somebody new on the internet, getting married today. And I was going to tell you, no, but you did it. So I'll tell you now, hooray, way to go. Here we are, right?
Yeah. Well, the main thing is just making sure that I build the right foundation for our marriage going forward. And you talking about ending up on the island because of that, of isolating from my other friends, that is important. So I don't want to do like a trauma response bond, with him. But
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something scary.
Okay.
You do not know him.
Okay.
You don't know him. You've seen him naked. You slept with him. You probably walked in the bathroom after he's been in there. Y'all went to Vegas together.
Yeah.
But you don't know that guy. And he doesn't know you.
Okay.
And so I think it's keeping your hands that open. Learning a bunch of facts about somebody rarely means that you know them. And so keeping hands wide open. And I'm going to send you a whole bunch of our Questions for Humans cards just to give y'all some conversations to have that you never even thought about having.
Okay.
I'd recommend y'all read, ask him. Here's something I just asked my wife, and I think it'd be perfect for you guys. I asked my wife. I'm going to tell you something that is kind of embarrassing, has not a lot to do with where you are, but we're going to land in a place I think would be really helpful for both of you. Okay, and I think this would be helpful to everybody out there who's married, whether it's been 30 years, 20 years, or 1.5 days, like like y'all. Here it is. I was having this imaginary conversation with myself, which I do probably too often, but I especially do every year. And I thought, what are the 2 things that I say are the most important things in the world to me? I would tell you my faith and my wife, my family.
Okay.
And I also then thought, how much money, to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of dollars, have I put towards my PhD work, my graduate school, my master's degree work, my bachelor's degree work? So if I was to look at, in the books that I read on a regular basis, the hours and hours and hours, I just read all the time, in my nerd research that I read, like the journal articles, my time and my money would tell a very different story about what's most important to me.
Okay.
And so I hired like a guy who's a former theology associate dean of a theology university. He's transitioned out, and I hired him for a semester. And I said, I want you to write me a course and meet with me every week as though I'm one of your students. And we're going to do Faith 101. I want to go back to the beginning and land on a place that I can articulate what this means. And then I went to my wife, and I told her what I just told you. I tell everybody in the world the most important thing in the world to me is you. And yet I spend all my energy reading mental health books. And so I don't know the books that my wife reads. I don't understand those books. I don't know the podcasts she listens to. I don't read all of her short stories that she read. So I asked her, I want you to make me a graduate syllabus of you. What 10 or 15 books should I read that you and I can then go on a date and we can talk about them? What they meant to me. And maybe the conversation is, this book was so terrible, I wanted to set myself on fire as I read it. Give me 10 movies. Give me 10 albums. Give me 10 podcasts. And begin to, I want to get to know you, the things that influence you, the things that bring you inspiration, the things that bring you joy. And she lit up, was like, dude, I love this. And then she said, this is scary, because what if you come back and say, I don't like you? And I said, I'll never say that. I might say, I don't like your books. I don't like your podcast. And she was like, well, I'm not going to go to Pantera with you still. And I was like, I know. It wasn't just a big ruse. But I wonder if you sat down with your brand new husband and said, hey, let's take a graduate course in each other.
That would be neat.
And let's just read the books that made you. Let's watch the movies that made each other. Let's read the podcast. Let's listen to the sermons. Let's get to know one another and I think it's cool to put on the table, we actually don't know each other. We know about each other, and man, we feel electric with feeling as we begin to establish safety in one another. You're going to be there. You're not going to cheat on me. You tell the truth. The excitement will fade. So how do we invest in that excitement? How do we invest in eros? How do we invest in feeling and in that erotic energy in the house? We're going to get to really know each other really well. So set that up as a foundation. Just call it out. We got married. We don't know each other. But I really want to get to know you. And over time, I'm going to become best friends in the world. And let's get off this island and let's go reconnect with people that we love. Hey, Carly, best of luck to you. You're my neighbor. Come by and see us anytime up here at the shop and or at the studios, and call any time. I have for whatever reason, I have a vested interest in this thing working out. So don't blow it, Carly. I'm here to help any way we can. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a bunch of questions for humans, and I'm going to send you Financial Peace University and the Every Dollar app so that y'all can at least start your new marriage and get your finances squared away too. And that's going to force y'all into some conversations that many couples won't have with one another. Appreciate you.